Here we are, we're in the car in downtown Clarendon Hills, all one block of it, with Mike McCurry and going out to look at some real estate.
Here's the site where Midall Mansion was in Clarendon Hills, a famed Midall Mansion. Notre Dame Catholic Church is part of that grounds now, and they expanded into a school. And the Midall Mansion is disassembled and tucked away for future use, some of it at least.
So you have some private parochial school options out here?
We do, yes, a couple in the area, Hinsdale, Clarendon Hills. On the right you've got Hinsdale Golf Course, historic Hinsdale Golf Course, which is a large tract of land that's been there for a long time. And then in front of us, just a bit, we're going to get stopped here, is the newer Clarendon Hills Middle School. All of our schools are relatively new, within the last 10 years or younger. You have Clarendon Hills Middle School and then Prospect School to the left, which is just a couple of years old, and then Walker Grade School in the south of Clarendon Hills. We have 2 grade schools that serve our community and 1 middle school that serves Hinsdale and Clarendon Hills.
How do people pick among? Is there much difference between the 2 elementary schools, or are they pretty comparable?
Very comparable. Had a couple of specs and custom homes on your left here. This builder is doing pretty well with building in this area.
What is he doing right? What are the elements of the house that are attractive to people out here?
Well, I think the front porches is a prominent feature for Clarendon Hills for sure. Although not all of them are doing that. Many of them will. I think that's what people are wanting most, especially in Clarendon Hills. The Nantucket house is a very popular culturally right now. I think it's it's kind of a seaside looking house with the shingles. Many of them are kind of a green and blue house that have a huge sweeping front porch. I'll show you one here in a minute. This is the backside of Clarendon Hills Middle School in Prospect Park, where a lot of events go on. We have a fishing derby every year that happens in that lake. My kids have done that. It's a great time for dads and moms to bring their kids out and fish. And that's Prospect School over there to the left. That's a good look at that.
It's a pretty spectacular piece of ground for the school.
It really is. There's a pond, a snow hill, a couple of baseball fields, soccer fields, you name it. It's a nice complex, really. There's the front of Prospect. Most of our streets on this corridor, this is the northwest corridor, are grid-like streets that you would see in Chicago. And many of those homes were developed post-war, so little less character. There are a lot of ranches, but probably a good portion of those have been taken down and new construction has replaced them. The northeast corridor is more like a kind of the Frederick Law Olmsted design, like Riverside and Central Park in New York, which a lot of folks claim that he did the early development of Clarendon Hills. It's like a spaghetti bowl that you threw up in the air and it landed on the ground, and that's how the streets ended up. So it's very quaint, winding streets, and so forth. So we're approaching the train tracks again, with the village hall and the library on the left, and the old police station, which I'm promising at one time I'm going to put a restaurant in there, maybe an Irish pub. That's the old police station, and then the depot. Then our office again on the left. And famed Quinn's Coffee, which had a lot of media attention recently for being a historical marker here in Clarendon Hills on the right.
There's a ton of parking around the train station here. Is there a lot of walk-the-train housing available also?
There is. Well, most in Clarendon Hills, in the north of 55th, south of Ogden, west of 83, and east of Richmond, or kind of the Clarendon Hills proper. All those locations are walking to train. So you get a lot of commuters. It's a three-bedroom town where people work in and around the suburbs, but a lot of them will work in Chicago and take the train every day into the city.
What would be the starting price for some of the new construction out here? What kind of range would you be looking at?
Well, new construction, if you want to say brand new, but I'd define it as anything 10 years or younger. You might find some in the 10-year range as maybe in the 9s, and then the new construction would typically be $1.1 million and above. Here's an example of a Nantucket home to the left. I don't know if you get a good look at it.
We don't have a good view, but we'll get a partial view there.
I'm going to turn around anyway.
There we go.
This is one
that'll get us a good look at it.
Sorry, I'm taking advantage of it, but this is one we sold in 2 days. This is a typical new construction. This was $1,474,993, and we've got a reload buyer that simply loved the town and loved the construction of it, loved to walk the train.
Is that a cedar shake roof? Or?
It is a cedar shake roof.
It's got the little cupola up on top.
Yeah, it does have a cupola. Couple of porches on the top and back, and the big sweeping porches, which what people want really here in town, as we've talked. And
had a lot of character to it.
Yeah, it's that Nantucket style that really people just love right now. And so that was the highest priced existing house currently on the market. Certainly we have more that are more expensive that are just not listed. There's a spec in front of us that's going to go up. And that's going to the business district again. This house on the left is around $675 or so. It's listed with our office. If we have time, I'll run you by the new construction that's $2.395. You'll see you won't have to take my word for it. There is a hole in the ground, which I think is a good sign of the market moving, that builders are wanting to move forward in it. They feel comfortable about there's a lot to the left that just sold. That was about $475, I believe. They're going to put up a new house there, and that's under contract. And there's Walker School to the right. That's a new school as well within the last 5 or so years. That's where my kids go. Beautiful grounds around that as well. Most of the playground areas in the back.
We're off the street grid here. The streets are windy.
Yes. In the south portion, it's, you know, that Frederick Law Olmsted designed streetscape. And here's the...
Lots of Coldwell Banker signs, Mike.
Lots of them. We really have the market here. Here's the 2.3 on the left. There is a hole in the ground, and they're moving forward with it.
What is 2.3 going to fetch? Bedroom, bath count, square footage, roughly?
I think that they're calling that one that's a pretty big square footage. I think they're quoting it out to be close to 6, which pretty large. I'm not sure if they'll get that on that footprint, but it seems to be a pretty big. It's about a 100-foot wide lot, which is a little untypical.